Hello, everyone. My name is Kinsey Gilbert, and this is my COM 252 presentation on what I think every college student should know, and in this case, master. So the topic that I chose was negotiation. And as our president, former president, once said, let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. So John F. Kennedy said this for a higher level of negotiation as he was president and he was dealing with conflicts with other countries and other political leaders. So I'm going to be talking about negotiation in a little bit more of a interpersonal, like as an interpersonal skill. So it's going to be a little bit smaller scale. So the first main point from the scholarly journal that I have is communication as a process of negotiation. So to start out, communication is a process. It takes two parties to have a conflict of interest, two or more parties to have a conflict of interest. This means that somebody wants something that somebody else has, or vice versa. There is just something that somebody else needs or wants, and they don't have it. So they are going to negotiate to get it. So the second thing that there needs to be is a satisfying agreement. So between these two parties, there needs to be a solution that leaves both of them happy, not getting 100% what they want, but getting some things that they want. And then third, there needs to be some kind of dependency between these two or more parties to where they do need each other. And that's why they're having this negotiation, because they do have something that the other one needs. And then the fourth and final stage is there needs to be a mutual benefit. In negotiation, it is usually a compromise. There's usually give and take. There's giving something up for something else that they feel is more valuable. So there's always a mutual benefit in negotiation. It's never just lopsided where one person gets everything that they want. And an example of this in person is when someone's going through a divorce, there's a conflict of interest because they're removing each other from each other's lives. Their whole life was built together. There is a satisfying agreement. There's usually a mediator present, or sometimes it goes to court in getting like custody if there's children, and splitting miles and selling the houses. There's a dependency because they were once married and they need to get this figured out for themselves. And there's a mutual benefit because at the end of this, they get the divorce that hopefully they wanted if they filed, and they both come out with hopefully what they deserve from that. Secondly, I did a scholarly journal on emotions of negotiation. This focused on only two emotions, both anger and happiness. And I mentioned fear earlier, in that it is an emotion of negotiation. And fear drives negotiation, fear of losing things, the fear of not getting what you want. But this article mainly focused on anger and happiness, so that's what I'm going to focus on. And it essentially said that if you go in with a negotiation with a negative mindset, you're not going to get what you want. You're not going to do as well as you thought you were going to do. And it honestly affects the other party or parties as well by rubbing off that negative energy. And it just becomes a bad environment. And then the other emotion is happiness. If you come in with a positive attitude and you are very optimistic and upbeat, then you have more of a chance of getting what you want, and the other party's more willing to work with you in most cases. And an example of this is if you go in to getting your first car at a car dealership and you're working with the car salesman who maybe's had a bad day, or it's hot, or they haven't had a lot of sales in a while, and you're very happy and you know exactly what you want and you're willing to work with this guy or girl, then you are more likely to get what you want from this person. Well, right now there's stock issues, so I don't know, but in a normal case, the happiness and positive attitude that you would bring would also affect the negotiation skills in the other party. Okay. And then the third article was face in relation to negotiation. So this really talked about how a face can either be attacked or saved in both the other party and in relation to oneself. So usually when we are in negotiation, we try to present a perfect self-image for the other party to see that we are very well accomplished, we are very capable. And so that way the other party will think that they don't have a lot of wiggle room to negotiate what they want, because we are so well like structured and established that we cannot be moved or negotiated with very easily. So this is what we try to present, but it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes we actually don't want to present perfect and we kind of play a victim card and showing that face kind of would make the other party feel guilty. But then the second way that face can be associated in negotiation is when you're attacking the other party. You're trying to destroy their face and their image, and you're trying to make them look as though they are incompetent, and you're trying to kind of finesse them in a way. In negotiation, like in an example would be like offending a car salesman, being like, oh, well, you're just out here trying to sell cars. You're such a scumbag. Like, you'll be lucky if you even get my money today. And that would be attacking them. And I'm sure the car salesman just wants to make money, so he would probably just sell it to them anyways. And then for my interactive section of this presentation, I have a video for you guys to watch that I thought was very interesting. It's about Chris Voss, an FBI negotiator.
Everything in life is a negotiation. When you cross the street is a negotiation. Getting your coffee at Starbucks is a negotiation. You're probably in 3 to 7 negotiations every single day. Your life could be in a completely different place just by improving how you negotiate.
Negotiators are working around the clock. The deadline for execution has passed.
With us now to help break down the investigation, FBI Special Agent Hostage Negotiator Christopher Voss.
My role as a hostage negotiator was to connect authentically with the victim, the victim's family, and with the hostage taker. Everybody really deserves to have somebody hear what they have to say. In my masterclass, I'm going to give you all the strategies and tactics that I developed as one of the top hostage negotiators in the world. You're going to learn everything from bargaining to reading body language to the neuroscience that you can use to literally bend people's reality. You know, negotiation is letting the other side have your way. So mirroring creates the opportunity for them actually to present you with your deal, only they thought it was their idea. It's just a simple repetition of the last 1 to 3 words of what somebody said. We've got the actual recording of the Chase Manhattan Bank robbery hostage taking.
We've got a van out here. Know anything about it?
You crazy? Chased my driver away.
We chased your driver away?
My training was to mirror. And the bank robber started blurting out stuff they had no intention of saying. People love to be mirrored. They love to be encouraged to go on. These skills help you improve your life. Sometimes people say to me, these tools are just manipulation. It's about win-lose. That is not the case. Great negotiation is about great collaboration. Why does it matter to you? You should get better at negotiation, because however your life is now, you can do better. I'm Chris Voss, and this is my masterclass.
All right, so that was just a little video. I thought it was kind of inspiring. And just from someone who has such an important place or had such an important place in America, to talk about how you negotiate at least 3 to 7 times every day and how it's a skill that everybody should have. Everybody makes negotiations. And I truly believe that is a skill that especially college students going into the workforce pretty soon should have to negotiate their jobs, to negotiate their pay, their vacation time, their benefits. It is so imperative to be able to negotiate and always do better for yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. Here are my references, and thank you so much for your time. And I hope you start your negotiation skills. Start working on them.